Good morning everyone, welcome to today's class session. So in last session we discussed about item catalogs and item categories, and we defined the item catalogs which is controlled at master level. That means if we apply that item catalog and category combination to any item at IMO level, automatically all the child organizations will get associated. So whatever child organizations associated with that item, for those all child organizations, the categories and catalogs will get associated. So is anyone tested this scenario controlled at organization level? Controlled at organization level, nothing but what we said. So if you apply at IMO level, again you need to manually apply it Hyderabad inventory likewise, because the item catalogs controlled at a specific organization level only. So that's what we discussed. So log into the application with our implementation user. Select sign in. Navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to product management offering. Select items. So from here we defined a lot of setups, as well as from navigator, from product information management, we discussed about creating the item catalogs and categories. The next concept is so functional area of catalogs, nothing but default category concept in e-business suite. So earlier categories are mandatory in e-business suite, that's why we have a concept of default categories. But in cloud application, catalogs also mandatory. That is the reason we have default catalog concept is there. So what is default category means in e-business suite? If any item, if you want to place a purchase order on specific item, then the item should be available under default purchasing item category. So as well as if you want to perform any inventory transactions on that item, the item should be available in default inventory items category, item category. So likewise, if you want to use that item in any planning area, then the item should be in default planning related item category. Likewise, in e-business suite, we have default item categories set up. So just Oracle EBS default category. So default category says.
Sarath Sudarshan here.
Yes, Sudarshan.
So we have this default category in EBS as well, right?
Yes, in EBS we have default categories. So in EBS, yes, we have. Yeah. So, but in cloud application, default catalogs is mandatory, because earlier in EBS, catalog is not mandatory, right? Only category is mandatory.
Yeah,
but in cloud, as catalog is also mandatory, the setup is controlled at default catalog level. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think we come to different one. Default category set window. So some image, somewhere you can find the default category one. EBS default overview of item categories, something default categories is there. So default category set corresponding for functional area. Okay, in EBS, somewhere you, just go through the documentation, guys. Somewhere you can find the default category for each and every functional area. That means what are the functional areas is there? Just give me some functional areas where we are going to use items. Give me some functional areas in EBS or cloud.
Purchasing
is one functional area.
Sales.
Order management is one functional area. Inventory is one functional area. Planning is one functional area. So product reporting is okay. EBS we don't have product reporting concept. So asset management is one functional area. Costing is one functional area. All these are functional areas where we are going to use items. So if you want to use item in any specific functional area, the item should be available in that specific default item category for specific functional area in EBS. Same concept, but it has to control that item. It is controlled at item catalog level now. So navigate to product management offering, select catalogs, select manage functional area catalogs, and this is the setup controlled at application level, not at business unit or not at IMO level. First thing, this setup is controlled at application level. So second thing, functional areas is decided by ORCL itself. We are not going to decide the functional areas. And the functional area, whatever the setups, configuration, everything done by ORCL, and we don't allow to make any changes in functional areas. Then what it is? So for inventory, so if the item, if you want to perform any transactions, then these are the default catalogs given by ORCL in real environment. Also you can see ORCL data here, inventory items are like that. So here, if you want to place any inventory transaction on item, then the item should available under which catalog? The item should be available in which catalog?
Inventory items.
Inventory item catalog, and one of the category in that inventory catalog, correct? So under catalog, we are going to have categories. That means if you want to perform any inventory transaction on any item, the item should be available under inventory functional area related default catalog, inventory items catalog, and within that catalog, it should exist under some category. So if you click on edit, so far whatever we created, the item has a default catalog association, inventory items, and which item category associated? Some non-categorized default category. If we verify any item, whatever we created, we can see that non-categorized is assigned to us. So that is one thing. So same, if you want to place purchase order any item, then what is the mandatory one here in terms of the setup?
Purchasing.
The item should be available under purchasing functional area of catalog, and one of the category in that functional area of catalog. Likewise, ORCL by default defined all the whatever the catalogs, and what is the catalog, what is the functional area, for which functional area, what is the catalog we are going to use, what is the catalog we are going to use, category hierarchy. So control that or not. So here you can see one small difference. So what is that small difference? So for inventory items, for DOO, distributed order orchestration, so supply chain flow orchestration, all these things by default. So inventory items, the naming convention, someone modify the naming changes. Usually I always suggest people not to do anything, but some others may read this one. So it's okay. What I will do is I will make as inventory items only, because this setups is controlled at application level. Inventory so okay, if someone modify some changes, they add some extra one. So go to setup and maintenance, navigate to product management offering, select catalogs, select manage functional area of catalogs. So here, so what you can do is, so it's okay. So these things will be decided by ORCL, but what we can do, so we can modify the naming convention. For example, so if you want to modify this engineering catalog name, whatever you modify for all, it will apply the same. Select edit, just click on edit button. So here, go to details. So here you can modify the naming convention, but so even system here is allowing you to control it master level or organization level, but here we have the options. But the functional area of catalogs controlled at what level? Tell me. Functional area of catalogs should control at what level?
Application, right?
At master level only. So in these two, even system is allowing us to change the value, but still this functional area of item catalog should control at master level. That is the first scenario. If we choose organization level also, select save. So whatever we made the changes, so Why it is allowing us to change? 1 second, select cancel. Okay, select edit, go to details. Ideally, it shouldn't. So, ideally, it should throw an error. Let me see. Purchasing, I mean, so 4 catalogs, it will throw an error. So, select organization level. And my doubt is whether it will save or not. So, if that is save, oh my god, this shouldn't happen. Ideally, it shouldn't happen. Okay. This is the problem now. Ideally, I mean, so it shouldn't controlled at organization level, and it should throw a error message. But I'm just surprising why it is saving successfully. So it should give a error message that so we cannot control that organization level. Okay, guys. I mean, it got saved, but it should give you a error message that purchasing default catalogs should control at master level only. So system has to give that error message, but I don't understand why it is not giving any error message and it is saved successfully. Ideally, it shouldn't happen. First thing, it shouldn't happen, but it is saved successfully. See, inventory items we updated in one area, then automatically for all it is got updated. Select save and close. Let me create one item quickly because I mean just please remember, guys, so it should control that only master level. It should control that master level. I'm still surprised why it is saved. So someone please open your environment and try to change it, whatever I have given quickly. SEP underscore IMO, SEP underscore item class. Select create item. Is anyone opening the application? No one is responding. Is anyone trying to open the application or not?
No, sir.
I mean, someone please open the application and try to change that, or else it's okay. I will do that one here only parallelly. This is the EDC3 environment. That's fine. SCP underscore test item 1 associations. So okay, first I won't associate. First save it. So just verify the categories, whatever got applied automatically. See, 4 categories is applied and these are updated as controlled at organization level. Now is going to be problem. Select Hyderabad inventory, apply, done. Save and close. So go to manage items. Go to manage items. SCP underscore test item at a Hyderabad inventory organization level. Go to categories. Okay. See, I mean, system is allowed me to change, but the functionality didn't change. So did you observe, guys? Is anyone observed?
Yes, sir.
If this is a controlled at organization level, then after saving, I performed org association. Why? System is allow me to make it changes. I mean, why system is applying automatically? So system will apply automatically for all child organizations. But what happened is, so now from organization level itself, for specific organization, we can delete it. Okay, that means if you choose controlled at organization level, first thing I will go through document and maybe any change is there. First thing, so it doesn't matter whether controlled at master level or organization level. So system will apply from IMO to child. That means ideally it should control at master level only, and till last version also. So we don't have any option to remove, to delete the functional area of catalog from child organization level. So but what happened is, now system is allowing to change, delete at child organization level, but end of the day, from where it is applying automatically?
From master out.
From master org level only. But I mean, just we'll verify one more time the document, is there any changes. So but so the functional area of catalogs default functionality is controlled at master level only. That means at IMO level, automatically system will apply all these 4 item catalogs and categories. From there, automatically for all child organizations, it will get associated automatically. But what is the change? Is it just now we observed? So if that is, we made it as controlled at organization level, still, I mean, as per functionality, it has to apply for all child organizations, whatever associated. But at child organization level, if you want, you can remove the catalog and category. At child organization level, you can remove the catalog and category. So that is the one thing. But what I'm surprising is, so first thing you shouldn't allow, but it is allowing. But now system is not allowing to change it back. System is not allowing to change it back. So manage functional area of catalogs. So for example, we made inventory items as controlled at organization level. So what I'm surprised is, system is not allowing us to change it back. That's fine. So first thing, the item catalog is default functionality controlled at master level only. Automatically all child organizations also, these are the functional area of catalogs. So total 4 catalogs: inventory items, purchasing catalog, product reporting catalog, and what is another one? Planning catalog. All these 4 will apply automatically. All these 4 will apply automatically. And the remaining things, if you want, you can add manually in the category tab. In the category tab for item, you can manually add it. So, but what you can do is, you can so change the naming conventions. That is one thing. And you can change the default category. That is second thing. And go to category hierarchy. If you want, you can create a new item categories under functional area of catalog. You can create a new item category under functional area of catalog. So for example, our items is available in non-categorized item category. Non-categorized item category. Our item is available under non-categorized item category. So here all our items are available. So search item detail, search item detail, search STP percentage, select search. See, our Dell laptop, HP laptop, test item, all these are available under, at what level? Non-category. So but what happened is, now as we change the attribute, see at that earlier Dell laptop and HP laptop, whenever we used to create those items, this functional area of catalog is controlled at master level only. That is the reason you can see only, so IMO only, you cannot say Hyderabad. But after we made changes, we create the functional area of catalog at IMO. That is the reason even you can see for Hyderabad inventory, also for Hyderabad inventory also. So that's fine, first thing. So what we can do, that means functional area of catalogs, you can update the naming conventions. Under functional area of catalogs, if you want, you can create a new item category. Tell me one reason. So okay, which module, for which purpose we will create a item categories under functional area of catalogs? Tell me one scenario where we have to do this setup. Is there anything like I procurement?
Yes.
So for I procurement, we need to define a couple of categories under functional area of purchasing catalog. So that means purchasing, product reporting, planning catalogs. By default, it is an integrated functionality with the application, and by default, all these 4 catalogs and categories will apply to any item. So any item at master level as well as all child organizations level. So from there, if you want, you can keep it, or else you can remove it. You can remove it. So we have all these functional areas for all functional areas. So if you want, you can create a new catalogs. Also, if you want, you can create a new item catalogs also.
Sarath, could you come again? This non-categorized and categorized. Sorry, I missed that.
I mean, just that is a default category associated for inventory item functional catalog. That's it. That's a default category. This is a naming convention. Non-category is nothing but. Okay. This is a naming convention which is a default category for inventory items. That means whenever inventory items catalog applied, automatically by default this particular naming convention category will get applied. Okay. Okay. And system won't allow you to maintain multiple item category assignments for functional area of catalogs. Second thing, system won't allow you to maintain multiple what? Multiple item category assignments. So even here you can see that the system is allowing the checkbox. So for something we saw the checkbox is enabled, but still, so system won't allow you to enable multiple item category assignments. Okay. So any functional area of catalog, if you assign to item, that item should control for one catalog plus one category combination only. One catalog and one category combination only. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then next concept is unit of measure. Next concept is unit of measure. So what is a unit of measure? What is a unit of measure? Just your knowledge.
Describes that.
So unit of measure nothing but, so how we are going to describe an item. So based on quantity or weight or volume is a unit of measure. How we are going to measure an item? How we are going to measure an item is unit of measure. Correct?
Yes.
So here unit of measure, we have 3 different concepts. So within unit of measure, so first unit of measure is there. Unit of measure nothing but, so for example we will say one box. What is one box means? Is box a unit of measure or not?
Yes, it can be a set of 8 or 12.
Set of 10, 20, anything 8 or 10, 20. So 20 what? 20?
Each quantity.
Each quantity again 20 each or 20 kg or 20 kilogram or 20 liters, whatever. That means unit of measure nothing but, so how we are going to track the items or count the items. A box nothing but we will say 10 what quantity, we will say for example quantity. So 10 quantity nothing but, so that quantity we will say unit of measure class. So we will say a box is equal to 10 quantity, a box is equal to 20, a box is a unit of measure. So that quantity or volume or weight or kgs is a class, unit of measure class. Then we will say one box is equal to 10 quantity. What is the 10 quantity? Is that one quantity or nothing but, so what is that one means? Quantity nothing but is that 1 or 2, how we will decide? Again, each that each or anything we will decide, right? That each or not will be base UOM, base unit of measure. So for example, how this will work is, so we will say each is a base unit of measure. Each is a base unit of measure. Base unit of measure. Then unit of measure class. Unit of measure class we will say quantity. Quantity is equal to UOM class. So then a box is a unit of measure. A box is equal to unit of measure. So that means unit of measure. That means how exactly it will work. So a box is equal a box of 8 quantity. A box of 8 quantity is nothing but a box. So into, so a box of 8 quantity. Box of 8 quantity is 1 unit of measure. We will say a box of 8 quantity. We will say 1 unit of measure. As well as box of 4 quantity or box of 10 quantity is 1 unit of measure. Box of 20 quantity is 1 unit of measure. That means a unit of measure is a combination of, a unit of measure is a combination of, so unit of measure class plus base UOM, correct? A unit of measure is a combination of base unit of measure plus unit of measure class, correct?
Yes, sir.
Base UOM plus UOM class. That means any unit of measure is a combination of base unit of measure plus unit of measure classes. This is one. Then we have a concept of unit of measure conversions. Unit of measure conversions. So forget about conversions now. First we'll complete the first scenario. So then again, so we will say unit of measure classes. Tell me some classes. Just you understand.
kgs, feet.
Okay, again, what will happen is kg we will treat as a base UOM. Kg we will treat as a base UOM. Kg nothing but what it is means. Is that weight?
Yeah, weight.
So that means weight is unit of measure class. Kg is base UOM. Kg is what? Base UOM. Kg, kilograms, or else we will say grams or kilograms, or so whatever. So terms are whatever. Base UOM is grams and kilograms. So weight is unit of measure class. So what? Give me one more unit of measure class.
Volume.
Volume, correct. Volume is unit of measure class. Then what is the base UOM? Just give me some example.
Cubic meter.
Cubic. So again, so cubic. So again, cubic we have different concepts. Either cubic feet, cubic centimeters, cubic meters, or cubic inches. So whatever, those are base unit of measures. Base unit of measures. Usually, base unit of measures we will say cubic inches. Let's take an example. Cubic inches. So here let's take an example. So gram. So gram will treat as a base unit of measure. So cubic inches will treat as a basic unit of measure. So weight and volume is unit of measure classes. Then give me one more thing.
Length.
Length. Length I don't think we will treat as unit of measure. It's okay. Length.
Height.
Length. So length height. Better one. Regular scenario. Are we going to use quantity as a regular scenario?
Yeah.
So quantity is one of the unit of measure class. So what is the base UOM for quantity? Each. Correct? So base unit of measure is each. Same wise, so even time is also one unit of measure, correct? For resources and everything, time is unit of measure or not?
Yes.
If you go to manufacturing, how you are going to cost a resource? Based on hourly basis or based on each quantity basis?
Hourly basis.
So hourly basis. That means is a time also one unit of measure or not? So in manufacturing, what we will do, we will choose unit of measure for resource. So when you are defining resource, you will choose unit of measure. What is the unit of measure? We will choose either hours or minutes like that.
Hours.
So that unit of measure is which class? We will say hour. So that means what is that class? Unit of measure class, that is time.
Time.
So hour is not base UOM. A base UOM is seconds. Then so unit of measure nothing but we will say combination of base UOM plus UOM class. That means how unit of measure will works is, so tell me one unit of measure for weight. So base UOM we will say gram. That means what is going to be unit of measure? A kilogram is a unit of measure. So in our scenario, we are treating gram as base UOM. So kilogram is unit of measure. That means, so how it will work? So 1000 grams is going to become a kilogram, which is a weight calculation. So for example, we will say quantity. Let's take an example, a dozen. We will say a dozen. So a dozen, we will say unit of measure. So that means a dozen nothing but 12 each. Again, this each nothing but it is a quantity. 12 each quantity is a dozen. Again, we will say, for example, each is also one unit of measure. Each is a one unit of measurement, but one each. That means one each nothing but we will say each. That means each nothing but that is quantity unit of measure class. That means one quantity is equal to a each, which we are going to use unit of measure. That means system will work. It is a base unit of measure class. So combination of base unit of measure plus unit of measure class is a unit of measure. So how we are going to measure an item? So kilogram nothing but it is a UOM, unit of measure. How this unit of measure will work? 1000 grams. Gram is what? What is gram?
Base unit of measure.
Base unit of measure. So what is this base unit of measure? What is this class for this base unit of measure? How we are classifying this one?
The base of
Under
It's a weight,
weight.
correct?
weight.
So that means gram is a weight. So cubic inches, a volume. Each quantity. Seconds,
Time.
time. So that means a kilogram nothing but, so 1000 grams. That means 1000 into base UOM grams. So what is this base UOM weight? That means a kilogram nothing but 1000 grams of weight. We will say kilogram. So what is dozen means?
12 of
12 each nothing but 12 each quantity. That means 12 quantity is 1 dozen. Okay, that's how we are going to classify a unit of measure. Is everyone familiar with this basic scenario, basic theory?
yes, sir.
Others guys?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any questions?
So we have this inter company.
Yes, I told you, right? So earlier I written UOM conversions.
Okay.
So again, conversions nothing but it will comes two conversions. So what are they? So inter-class conversions, intra-class conversions, and intra-class conversions. So this we are going to discuss. First, we are completing this particular basic concept. Then we will go with conversions, UOM conversions. Okay, is everyone clear with this concept, unit of measure, or any questions?
Fine, sir.
Okay then. So then log into the application. So navigate to items, functional area, select manage unit of measure. So let's search. See, all these are unit of measures available by default. See, for example, how, so here you can see some, let's see some dozen something. So dozen. So dozen is a unit of measure. Code unit of measure name is dozen. So the class, how they are calculating the class? What is the class they are defining? Count. The class they are using is count. Base unit of measure is unit. So that means it 12 units of count, nothing but it doesn't. It 12 units of count, nothing but doesn't. So likewise, it's up to our decision how you want to maintain. Let's take an example. Search with unit of measure each. Unit of measure class each. Let's search with unit of measure class each. Select search. Select search. Sorry, unit of measure class quantity. Let's search with quantity. Select quantity. So go to advanced. Is not blank. Description is not blank. Select search. So somewhere you can see quantity. Select OK. Select search. See, for example, on quantity base, they will define something. So a can nothing but, so one each. So a neck, nothing but quantity one each. So like something, some they defined some other naming conventions also. That means first what we need to define is we need to define classes. So manage unit of measure classes. So here let's create a class. Let's create a class. Class code SCP underscore quantity. I am defining one class SCP underscore quantity. Name SCP underscore quantity. So unit of measure code. What is the code you are going to use? Code also SCP underscore. So only 3 characters it is allowing. So S, some SQT. So base unit of measure. What is the base unit of measure naming convention you are going to use? Base unit of measure naming convention is SCP underscore. Okay, so we will say each. So base unit of measure name is each. So or else we will say SCP underscore each, SCP underscore each. So base unit of measure description, if you want, you can write it, or else not required. Select save. Select save. Select save and close. So now let's create a unit of measure. Let's create a unit of measure. What I will do is just remove. Just remove. So just select cancel. Just come back to the form again. Select S. So come back to the form. So select create. So unit of measure code SCP underscore. So let's take an example. SCP underscore code. So maximum it is allowing 3 characters. So that means the code what I will say is SCPS DZ dozen SCP name. So unit of measure name SCP underscore dozen. So description, if you want, you can write anything. So which class it belongs to, which class it belongs to. Select search. So class name SCP percentage, SCP quantity, SCP quantity. So base unit of measure each. So if you want, you can give the end date. So that means we defined a unit of measure SCP underscore dozen. So which is classifying as a quantity, which is classifying as a quantity. And so description, so base unit of measure which we are using is base unit of measure which we are using is SCP underscore each. That's fine. But doesn't means how much quantity. We will say quantity, that's fine. So we say base unit of measure each nothing but one quantity. But it doesn't mean how many. So where we defined so far? Did we define anything?
No.
How people will know doesn't mean strong? Just you given one naming convention. So unit of measure is a dozen for which you are using class name as a quantity. That means each quantity is a dozen. But how many each quantities? How many quantities is a dozen usually? Usually 12 quantities a dozen, correct?
Yeah.
How system will know here in this scenario? It's just naming convention. I can write any naming convention.
You have to give in standard conversions.
So go to manage UOM standard conversions. So here you need to define conversions. Select add row. So unit of measure name SCP underscore dozen. So for dozen, so base unit of measure each. How many each? 12 each is equal to 1 dozen. Okay. So SCP underscore dozen conversion 12 each is equal to 12 each quantity. That means 12 quantity is equal to 1 dozen. Clear? Clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Select, save and close. So that means what is unit of measure class? Someone please explain me what is the unit of measure class and what is base unit of measure? What is the difference between both? Your understanding.
Unit of measure class describes the nature of the
What type of unit of measure it is, whether based on the how we are going to measure that item based on the weight or quantity or volume or units or based on the time or any other factors, how we are going to measure that item is a class, correct?
yes.
Okay. Then
Base unit means the least value of the class.
base
starting
unit
value.
of measure nothing but what is the minimum unit of measure, what is the base you are going to calculate, each or gram or so whatever we say in cubic inches or whatever it is. So the seconds, this is a very base unit of measure. Based on the base unit of measure we will decide a final unit of measure with the combination of base plus class, correct?
Yes, sir.
So is everyone clear with this?
Yeah, fine.
Alright, okay. Someone give me setups. Now my requirement is I want to define a box. So I will say, okay, I will say I need a unit of measure that some just give me some naming convention, guys. Okay. Okay. I will say L box. L box nothing but a large box where L box nothing but where I need some 100 items, 100 units of any item, 100 units of any item. Tell me how I need to define this setup. So 100 units of an item. So this is my requirement. L box nothing but 100 units of item. How I have to configure this setup?
UOM class is quantity, base UOM
No.
is
My question, that's what pronunciation wise what I'm using.
100 units.
Am I said 100 quantity of item or 100 units of item? Individually,
Units.
unit or quantity, anything is fine. But I say pronunciation is unit. Now tell me from where I have to start. First, I have to start with manage UOM classes. First, I need to create a class name as unit, correct?
Yes.
Class code SEP underscore unit. I will say I will use caps letters only. Then class name SEP underscore unit. So UOM code, what is the base unit? What is the unit of measure code? Yes, UT something. So base unit of measure for name. What is the base unit of measure name? You will say you will use. So you can use 1 unit as a base unit of measure, or as you can say each. I will say base unit of measure name is unit, 1 unit, or else SEP underscore 1 unit is base unit of measure. Okay, clear guys?
Yes, sir.
Select save and close. Now I am going to create a unit of measure. Select create. So L box, right? So SLB something code. So unit of measure name SCP underscore L box, large box. SCP underscore some large box. Some naming convention I'm using, so you can use anything. So which class I have to choose?
STZ.
something. Yes, percentage. SEP unit. So select save. I said that one box is equal to how much quantity? How many units?
100.
100. Then go to manage UOM standard conversions. Select create. So unit of measure. So one SEPL box is equal to 100 units of item. 100 SEP units.
It's
100 SEP 1 unit nothing but every 1 unit is 1 base UOM. So 100 into 100 units. 100 units. Likewise. So based on your requirement, you can configure in any way. This is unit of measure plus unit of measure standard conversion. Okay. So for example, you want to define one each. Let's take an example. S each. So SEA. So SEP underscore each. SEP underscore each. Again, you can use Arkel seeded classes also. So each belongs to which class in the seeded setup? Each belongs to which class? Quantity. Select quantity. Select manage UOM standard conversions. Okay. SEP each already exists. Okay. We already defined on base unit of measure, right? So what I will say is SEP S underscore each. Let's take an example. Already one naming convention is available. That is the reason it is throwing an error. That's fine. Because we just created on base UOM. Base UOM also same UOM only, right? That is the reason it is throwing an error. That's fine. So select unit of measure. Select such. So S underscore percentage. Okay. Why it is not coming? Tell me. First save it. Then go to manage UOM conversions. So select create. Select search. S underscore each is equal to one quantity of each. That means, so if you choose S underscore each as a unit of measure, that means it is one quantity. One each quantity. Okay. Is everyone clear with the UOM standard conversion? Unit of measure and unit of measure standard conversion.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what is a inter-class conversion and what is a intra-class conversion? What is the unit of measure inter-class conversion and intra-class conversion? So how it will works? Tell me. So today I won't explain because it will get confused discussing all in one day. So what is a inter-class conversion? What is a intra-class conversion as per your knowledge, guys?
See, if it is not within the base, item class, because some company may have different conversions, right?
Okay.
So they need to define, inter-class or intra-class. So in that case, we use that.
Okay.
Within the business
So
unit.
for example, inter-class conversions nothing but, let's take an example, a business. One business is using volumes. Let's take an example. One business is using volumes. Okay. So one business is using volume, but so when we are trying to ship to customer, to ship any other persons, they want us to ship in, let's take an example, in weight. That means whatever volume is our internal conversion. From volume to we need to convert to what? Weight. So is it a common scenario? Just a simple, how you can understand is, so volume to weight conversion. Let's take an example. How to convert a volume to weight? So here they given some calculations. That's fine. But how, I mean, whether they are converting from volume to weight or not. Volume to weight or not. Just simple 1 LT volume is equal in kgs. Something. So 1 liter is equal to something. Here they given some conversions. How many liters is 1 kg? Something, some question someone asked. So 1 kilogram. So someone given some formula, and 1000 cc is equal to 1 liter, and that cc. So they given some conversion. So 1000 grams like that. That means to convert from volume to weight is a common scenario.
Yes.
Why we need to convert from volume to weight?
We have an example, right? When we buy a refined oil in supermarket, so they are saying 1 kg, but it has some liters. I mean,
it has some liters. That means when they are manufacturing in their own plant, they will manufacture in volumes, but when they are selling to the customers, they are selling in kgs. So that means a conversion from one unit of measure to another unit of measure. That means a conversion from one base unit of measure to another base unit of measure is interclass conversion. Correct?
yeah. Okay.
So what is interclass conversion meaning? A conversion from one base unit of measure to another base unit of measure. Another base unit of measure is another base unit of measure. That is what interclass conversion. Interclass conversion. Then, so like from volume to weight, it is from volume to weight. Guys, someone.
Sarath, like
Yes,
kg equals to 0.96 liter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, likewise, from one base unit of measure, volume is separate unit of measure and weight is separate unit of measure. To convert from one unit of measure, one base unit of measure to another base unit of measure is what? It's a interclass conversion, correct?
Yes.
Then what is intra-class conversion?
Intra, see, within a same item
Same
class.
class, conversion from UOM to base UOM, correct?
Yes.
The intra-class conversion, nothing but conversion between UOM and base UOM within one UOM classes. One UOM class. That means quantity is one UOM class. Within quantity from unit of measure dozen to base unit of measure 12 is a intra-class conversion. And if you want to maintain intra-class conversion, you shouldn't implement standard conversion. So if you want to implement intra-class conversion, we shouldn't perform standard conversions, standard UOM conversions. So, but interclass conversion, yes, standard conversions we can define, as well as from one unit of measure, base unit of measure to another base unit of measure also we can define conversions. Intra-class conversions, nothing but within one unit, so within one class, between unit of measure to base unit of measure conversions, we will say intra-class conversions. You will say intra-class conversions. So first, my sincere request today, please complete this practice, and tomorrow we'll complete this one. So you will, I mean, you won't get confused. So please complete the practice for unit of measure class, base unit of measure plus standard conversion. So standard conversion. So please complete this till standard conversion. So tomorrow quickly we can complete intra-class and inter-class conversions, and we'll discuss few more concepts in PIM by tomorrow. And from day after tomorrow we'll start with inventory. Clear everyone? So today, no, don't discuss. Okay. So if you want to define intra-class conversions, then the item shouldn't create any. So for example, so from UOM, so I usually, I mean, so for specific item only we will create the intra-class conversions. Then we need to choose the intra-class conversions, and for specific item from which UOM to which UOM we will define. Then in the standard conversions we are not going to define for the item. Yes, we are going to define a conversions. So if you want to maintain intra-class conversions, then for the, I mean, so for the specific UOM unit of measure which you want to use, for that one standard conversions shouldn't be available. So it's okay. I mean, that's how we'll discuss. So just for today's session, we completed till unit of measure, unit of measure class, base UOM, unit of measure, and standard UOM conversions. Please complete the practice. So tomorrow we can complete inter-class and intra-class. Then tomorrow we'll discuss few more PIM setups, and we'll start with, from Wednesday onwards, we'll start with inventory. Is everyone clear so far?
Yes,
Any
sir.
questions so far? Whatever we discussed till PIM, enterprise structure or implementation project, or any discussions, any questions? Yes, Sudarshan, I think you are asking something.
No, sir, no. I
Okay.
will do practice and I'll. Yeah.
Okay.